programme. Well, Greece is at boiling point, with police firing tear gas at crowds of angry protesters. Thousands of demonstrators are trying to block access to the Parliament building, where the government is discussing more cutbacks to secure further rescue loans. RT's Sarah Firth is watching events unfold in Athens.
We did see clashes between the police and the protesters just a little while ago. The police letting tear gas into the crowd. Now it's still you can really feel the tear gas on the central street here in Skrekas Square. When it happened, a load of people trying to clear the area. A lot of people turned out today, so there was a major crush when that was happening. A lot of people caught up in that. It's been quite hard to establish just what happened. We were slightly further back, and it happened very, very quickly. They were speaking to one protester here. You said you know the people who were involved in provoking the police. What do you know about that?
I know for sure that some people, so-called protesters, they wear black helmets and suits, and they provoke the police with throwing stuff on them, and they make them fight back to the real protesters. And that's how the system breaks our defense lines, and they send everybody home. And we don't want to send everybody home because we want to stay here and fight. They sell our territories, our wealth, and everything we have worked, we and our ancestors. And that's how they break our defense.
Very much. Well, that's very interesting. So we were speaking earlier today to one of the organisers from the workers' unions, the two main unions who organised the protest today, and they said the same thing, that until the end of June, until those proposals were actually passed, they want these protests to be peaceful, and so far from what we've seen, they have been relatively so. There's violence breaking out when you get those extreme groups that get involved, intercept and cause this trouble. But the groups here, the protesters, the main bulk of those have said that they really just want to have their voices heard. They feel like democracy's been ignored. Literally millions of them are turning out onto the streets now. They've had a year of dealing with incredibly tough austerity measures. The job market's appalling, a 16% unemployment in the Greek workforce. Those were the latest figures. And really they've had enough. They said that this is the fault of the bankers and the politicians, and that if they're not going to be listened to, well then they'll make them listen. That's why they're here outside the main parliament today protesting against that.
RT's Sarah Firth reporting from the Greek capital. Well, there are plenty of ways to update yourself on what's happening in Athens. You can just head for our RT Twitter page. We're at RT_com with first-hand details, along with links to the latest analysis, videos and pictures. Well, economic analyst and international lawyer Nick Skrekas told us here at RT that it's only the banks who benefit from the bailout.
You don't help someone who is in that much debt by giving them even more debt. Now, what seems to be happening here is a massive transfer of wealth. We're getting a transfer from people across Europe paying taxes, lending it to the Greek taxpayer plus interest, who is then sending it all off to investment banks, hedge funds, pension funds, who are all a little bit too silly to lend to Greece at a time when they thought that all of the Eurozone sovereign risk was exactly the same. So will it help Greece? Only to the extent that it will prevent a chaotic default at this point in time. It will help keep our banks afloat, and it will help keep our pension system afloat for the time being.